Father Ayub Francis from St. Jude Parish in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and this reflection is for fourth Sunday of Easter, year A, listening to the voice of the Good Shepherd. The fourth Sunday of Easter invites us into the tender and powerful image of Christ as the Good Shepherd. In a world filled with noise, confusion, uncertainty, and competing voices, we are called to listen carefully and discern the voice that brings clarity, peace, and direction that truly leads to life. This Sunday reminds us that we are not abandoned or alone, but deeply known and lovingly guided. It's an invitation to trust, to listen deeply, and to follow where He leads, and to rest in the care of the One who calls us by name. In the first reading from Acts of the Apostles, chapter 2, we witness the early church awakening to the power of truth and conversion. The message of repentance is not one of condemnation, but of transformation and renewal. The people are deeply moved, showing that when truth is spoken with conviction, hearts can change. This passage reminds us that God's call often stirs something within us, urging us toward the better way of living. It challenges us to respond, not with fear, but with openness and courage. Ultimately, it's a call to step into a new life shaped by faith and grace. And Psalm 23, verses 1 to 3. The Psalm beautifully expresses trust in God as the shepherd who provides, guides, and protects. It reassures us that even in the darkest valleys, we are never alone. God's goodness and mercy follow us all the days of our lives, offering peace and security. And 1 Peter chapter 2, the second reading calls us to reflect on the example of Christ in suffering and endurance. It reminds us that following Him does not always mean an easy path, but one marked by patience and faith. Christ's response to suffering without retaliation or hatred becomes a model for us. Through His wounds we are healed and restored to new life. This passage encourages us to remain steadfast even in trials, knowing that God is present in our struggles. It's a powerful reminder that redemption often comes through perseverance and trust. And the Gospel of John chapter 10 verses 1 to 10. In the Gospel, Jesus reveals Himself as the gate and the Good Shepherd who leads His sheep to safety and abundance life. His voice is not harsh or confusing, but gentle, clear, and filled with love. The shepherd recognizes his voice because they belong to him, and this belonging is rooted in relationship, not in obligation. In today's world, many voices compete for our attention. Voices of fear, doubt, and destruction. Yet the voice of Christ calls us to peace, purpose, and truth. To hear Him, we must cultivate silence in our hearts and attentiveness in our spirit. Listening is not passive. It is an active choice to trust and follow. When we follow His voice, we are led always from danger and into fullness of life. The Good Shepherd does not drive us but walks before us, showing the way. He knows our struggles, our weaknesses, and our hopes, and still calls us forward. There is a deep comfort in knowing that we are seen, known, and loved beyond measure. This gospel challenges us to ask ourselves, whose voice are we truly following? May we always and may we have the courage to turn away from all that distracts us and listen more closely to the one who gives life. In following him, we find not only direction but true peace and lasting happiness. God bless you.